Hello parents, how are you? I am Mr. Glenn and I am the cross-campus advisor for technology as well as the technology teacher in the primary school. Today we're going to look at Apple Clips, and this is going to be an introductory session. We will learn how to use clips using just the basic record functions, text functions, and maybe some transitions and things like that. We're going to make something ourselves, and then we're going to try and submit it to our group or to us in the chat, and then hopefully you'll see what I make, and then hopefully this will go some way to understanding how we use clips and video for learning in school, but also for something creative at home, where parents are frequently asking, how can I move my child away from play into creation? So hopefully at the end of this you will have an introduction to the answer to that question. So I'm going to flip over into clips and I'll see you in a second. Hello, we're going to go into clips, into Apple Clips, and the first port of call for this is to go into the App Store and get it. If you haven't already, you can just go into the App Store like this. Here I'm on my iPad, and inside Clips, once you've installed it, you will have pages that look like this as you open it up. Here you can see that they've got AR effects. Now this will be on your iPhone, a newer iPhone, and the newer iPads that have those LiDAR cameras. They won't all have AR inside. However, most of them will have Memoji, so you can bring yourselves alive that way. If you've got an older phone, you can just use it as a regular editor. So across the bottom here, you'll have this very simple menu of clips, of trimming video. I think most of us have done that, and splitting video. So you're able to split the video and put more media or pictures or even posters that you're able to do in clips, which are really nice because they're like live screen desktops for your phones. So those live tiles that you get on your phones, they're very, very nice. And then we've got depending on the iPad and the iPhone that you've got, you will have a background and a scene like this. So when we in here in clips, when you do a live recording, you create a live recording. As you talk into it, you can live scribe your language from voice to text, and it is very, very accurate. For students, this is very engaging because it brings the idea that your audience is engaged, which is crucial to production. That if you don't think about your audience, you are not going to get engagement. So you also get lots of badges and pictures, and then this is the poster function within Clips, which I think is really good. So I'm going to go and just switch over to Clips like this. So I've got the rear camera on because I have a green screen behind me. That's why I'm able to sort of superimpose myself here. And if I put the front camera on, I'll let you know, because this is a little bit disconcerting to see two of me talking out of time. So this is on Apple TV, so this has been airplayed, so it's a little bit slower and it looks a bit strange, to be honest. But when we go into Clips, we have this setup just like I showed you. So what I'm going to do is just turn my main camera off, and you can see that where my head was over here, you've got effects. So you've got live effects within your camera. So when you go into your live effects like this, you can see that you've got all the icons down the bottom that we talked about. So we've got emoji. This is Memoji, so it's looking for a face, it's looking for your eyes and mouth, and it will match your face, and I'll show you that in a second. Here you've got live tiles. So the live tiles will be in your live section. So I won't do a recording. Let's just go and see. I won't do it, but just in case it's the Apple TV doesn't really like it. So in here we've got loads of scenes, lots and lots of scenes, and again very exciting for children to put live feeds in and just brings that emotion out, really. Children are always asking about my background because I have this floating bubble background, and this is really exciting for them. Text, so you put text in and just point things out as you go along through your film, which you'll see in the finished product at the end. You have little sort of GIFs and sort of superimposed icons that you're able to go and put into your film as well, just like we saw in the examples. And then we're able to go and put emoji in as well, which students love, by the way. So let's go and have a look at the difference between when we put a live icon in here and when we put a pre-record in. So this is me recording my screen. This is what you'd see if you were having the front camera on and you're talking straight to your camera, is you'd get all the icons here. Now the difference here is that I've pre-recorded this, so when I go to the effects and I try to go to my text here, my live tiles, I don't get it. But if I go to a live feed and I go to something that I recorded directly into it, I do get the text. So I'm just going to go and make sure that my sound is down. It's very, very accurate. This is what is really good for students, is that as you play, you can bring your text in and it reads to you, and it's very, very accurate indeed. So the other side of this is using the editor. Now unfortunately, because I'm on Apple TV, I can't demonstrate the trim and the split, but they are pretty obvious if you use the photos function, that you're able to take the ends off your clips here and trim them down. So you can duplicate one and then trim the other, and so if you've got pieces that you want, you can duplicate it first and then you can trim one end and duplicate it and trim the other. Splitting is again obvious, so you can go into it and split it. So especially if you want to, if it's a too long a conversation and you're telling too long a part of a story and the narrative needs a context, you're able to go and split this and put a poster into it. Now last thing is posters. So let's come out of here and go into my front-facing camera, and inside, so you may get the green screen in a second, you'll see what I'm talking about. So if we go into posters and go and choose a poster. Now for my fish, now the story that I'm telling is about the snails. So you'd have seen the snails in that last clip. They're floating on the water. For some reason where I live, the fish, for some reason the fish just attract the snails and the snails fall into the water, and I don't know why. So what I'm going to do is use this recording in my poster to bring my introduction alive. Let's go and do this. Sydney the snail, all he wanted was a friend, except his friends were fish. So while I'm here, and just before we go and finish it, you will see that the text has stayed there. Now the reason I've done this is because you're able to go and edit, and I can demonstrate that it's going to edit later on. So as I come out of this, you can see that the poster is at the bottom here and it's in a little segment, but the text itself is editable. And so as I play it, you can see that the text is there and the subtitles are there too. So keeping in mind with our editor and our editing functions, the last thing is storyboarding. So for students to storyboard, they understand that they can make a recording in any order and you put the pieces together according to your storyboard and your narrative. So the last thing here is that even though the poster is at the end, this doesn't matter, because according to your storyboard, this will go at the very beginning, and this is going to tell the introduction to your story, and then your film after that, including posters and your credits, gives you that 3 to 5 part harmony of film production. So a very quick introduction indeed. if we just take a look at the last thing is the engagement for students' audiences. As I tap on my face here, the emoji, I'm a bit big here because I'm so close, but the emoji will track your faces. So depending on what character it is that you want, so I may have this or my shark for the fish and the snail, I can bring my story even more alive. And this is even more engaging, especially in your 5 to 9 age bracket. Right. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to go and allow you to go and create a story. As always, good luck.